change.
Yeah.
This is nothing to do about the engine. Okay?
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Another 30 days if something's wrong with it?
30 days. No something, if you broke something, yeah, just, you know, no make a difference. I see you understand everything when you need check. The Hectorn engine is just long time still.
Yeah. As long as it spins, should be fine.
Yeah.
Start up.
It starts, yeah. It is a big damage car.
Front end or back rear?
Front in left side, and I think somebody maybe died inside. I don't know. I buy from insurance company.
Okay.
What's inside, I don't know. And I tell you, I put down money just I don't need it. People will. They will sell it, engine. This is what I go down. It is a long time stay here, maybe 3-4 years. This is what everything lasted. Okay, sir.
Alright, thank you. Well, just bought a motor against my best judgment. However, I have my reasons. It was only $700, which for a VVTi motor, that's not too bad. He said it's been sitting a while, 3-4 years. I mean, some of the outside stuff is rusted. We'll take a look at it in a second here. But I pulled the valve cover, looks fine. There's no water in the top of the valve cover. Turned it over by hand. Yeah, I mean, worst case, I can sell off parts of the original. Just swap this in basically, and then get it running. Like I said, I hate that it's been here so long and this is all rusted, like this pulley. I mean, it spins, but it's kind of grindy. This is seized up here. But the crank pulley itself, I mean, that spun, like I said, it was fine. So we'll see. Worst case scenario, I mean, yeah, I was hoping for better condition one, but for $700 and local, I can't complain. So the only thing missing is the throttle body, which I have, and not a big deal. And then obviously the alternator, power steering, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna get in here, make sure this isn't gonna flop around. I'm gonna tie this down somehow. Yeah, so like I said, worst case scenario, I can just put I mean, it'll be good content either way. It'll be good video, swap the old one out, new one in. And like I said, if I can prove that the trans is good on the car and that this motor is good, it has good compression, I mean, that's more money in my pocket, even if I have to pull the motor again to sell the motor. But at least this way the car can kind of move itself around, and I can recoup the cost by parting out the old motor. So win-win. I'll kind of go from there when I have some time to pull this out. But not ideal, but not horrible. So yep, anyone needs one VV. Alright, so we got the motor set up here. I'm just going to kind of go through what I would look for, what I looked at before I bought it. Some things you can kind of check just to make sure you're not being sold just absolute garbage. This fan is broken, so it's going to come off. So like I said in the other video, these are seized, I mean, seized pretty badly. They've had this motor 3 or 4 years, and for the most part it looks alright. There is some standing oil in the back of the bottom of the intake manifold, which is, I guess, somewhat normal for, let me get a shot of it here. You can kind of see way in the back, you know, that's normal after 150,000 miles or however many this thing has. It's from the PCV system, and the oil kind of recirculating back into the intake tract. So I'm not too concerned about that. What I'm liking is that there's no water, there's no rust, there's no mixed water in the oil. So when I showed up, Sergey or, you know, Boris or whoever that was, he was kind of like, hurry up, let's go, what are you looking for, get this thing out of here. So I had very limited time to do a quick check of everything here. So first thing I did, I kind of pulled the dipstick. I made sure there was something on there, which there is. Just looks like normal used oil, so that was good. You don't want standing water in there. I pulled the cap here, but there's nothing, you can't really see in there, it's all kind of dried out. And then I wanted the crank spun, so you find a socket, wrench. He had some worker there, like running around, grabbing tools. It's not a 1/2 inch. Well, let me, that doesn't matter. That doesn't even matter. I spun it. I know it spins. And I heard compression in the intake manifold. So it tells me the valves weren't bent. So then I wanted them to pull the valve cover because that's really all I had time for. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, what more do you want to check? Well, let's pull it. Check it out. So really I was checking the valves, the buckets, the cams, because that'll tell you a lot. And this one looked great. This is the top bolt here. Okay. Alright. So, pretty normal. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. And then, while they turn the motor over, I kind of inspected. Sorry, this is so dark. Lighting in here sucks. So I kind of inspected the cam lobes. You know, I watched everything turn over. Again, there's no standing water in here. There's just oil. So that's what I was looking for. I was like, okay, we're good here. You know, at least they didn't let this thing fill up with water or anything. Here you can kind of see where it was sitting for a while, that little mark there, because that's where it ended up and sat. So everything here looks good, and you know, they said it has 125,000 miles on it, which, you know, might be. I don't know if this is the mileage or if this is just their code or whatever, but I mean, it looks typical for a 100-some thousand mile motor, Toyota Lexus. Doesn't look over 200,000 to me. So that's kind of where I ended up after my inspection. So now that I've got the thing here, I can do a little bit more testing. Obviously I don't have time for this. If you have time for this stuff, great. But I'm going to remove the plugs. And this is really stuck on there. So we've got NGK Iridium, IFR 6A11s. That is perfect news. The plugs look good. Nothing crazy with the plugs. So that's another positive sign, if you will. What we don't want to see is any type of damage. That looks fine. We definitely don't want to see any kind of rust, because that would mean water's in there. And I think, well, I'm not going to speak too soon, but yeah, this one looks okay. I don't know if I'd call that rust, but when they turned the motor over, a little bit of water came out of the exhaust manifold, but nothing too crazy. There's a little bit of something in there. Okay, so that is passenger bank. And then the driver's side, I must have sold the coil packs on one side, because we just have coil packs on the driver's side here. So, gotta pry these out of there. I tried just pulling them, and they're kind of really in there, so those just kind of pop out. These look good. There's no water or anything inside of there. It's always a good sight to see. Same here. Just gotta pry that out of there. Uh-oh. Well, that one kind of ripped. They're not ripped. Came apart. Probably should have twisted that one first. Okay. This one, oh, it's just like a rubber tube. Well, I will work on that later. That's not want to come out. Now here's my impatience, needing to get this out right now at all costs. Can't wait to get it out. Gotta ruin the coil pack to get it out, Jason. Alright. This side. Same thing there. Nice and tan, exactly what you want. And I think, honestly, like, it could take me another month or so to even swap this thing out. So I want to take it apart now, see what we're looking at. Maybe even spray some lubricant or something in the cylinders, just to make sure it's not going to rust inside anymore now, but at least to get something in there. Alrighty. Another good plug. I'm happy with that. Really the only questionable ones were passenger side and rear, two of them. Of course the shelf is exactly in the way, right where you need to, right where I need to go. Okay, and that looks good as well. So now we've got all the plugs out. Yeah, so now I've got this lovely Borescope here, which I've had for probably 10 years now, and I don't think I've ever charged the battery. So I don't know if this is some freak Borescope or what. Let's get this camera fixed first. But this is literally on the same charge from I don't even know how long. It is an older one. The resolution's not like perfect, but it'll still give me an idea what's going on. So without further ado, let's get this down in number. Let me kill these lights. Might be able to see a little bit better. Cut down on the glare. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Better, I think. Alright, so there's the hole. I can see the hole through the camera. So that's fine. So you could even take this to a junkyard or the guy's house you're buying it from or whatever and drop that borescope right in there. And here, you know, we can see the piston, the cutouts for the valves or whatever, the reliefs if you want to call them that. And I don't have a mirror on this one, otherwise we could check out the cylinder head and the valves. I've got that one elsewhere. It's number 2, well, not technically not number 2, but the second one, passenger bank. This one's got some moisture on it. Number 3, same thing, a little bit harder to see, but that looks fine to me. Why is that side so dark over there? It's like there's some kind of shadow. Or oil? Oh god. Yeah, that looks like some kind of liquid in there. So I don't know if that's oil or water, but that one, we're gonna have to figure that out. Blow that out with compressed air or something. And number 4, that one's all the way on the top, so not easy to see, but you can see it's still there. So you could also, if there was more fluid in there, you could use like a vacuum pump or one of those brake Mighty Vacs and stick it in there and kind of suck whatever's liquids out of there. So this is going to be first one, driver's side. So come on, this one looks fine. There's a little bit of that's probably just from sitting. There might have been some liquid in there at some point, just sitting, because you can see the discoloration. And then when we cranked it over, it spit it out. Second one. Same thing here, you can kind of see a little bit of carbon peeling off right there. So there might have been some liquid in here at one point. But no full-on rust, no standing water. And that's kind of what you're looking for. This one's kind of at the top. Can't really see much there. And then, there we go, last one. This one looks fine too. So, that's pretty much it. I've got a good idea now of what I need to do. So we're going to get that liquid out of the third cylinder on the passenger side, and then I'll probably spray some Sta-Bil or some kind of lubricant in there, turn the engine over by hand, spray some more, keep turning it, and then call it a day. And then just start the tear down of these bad components, these bad pulleys, toss them in the garbage because they're no good, save the bolts, and then at some point I'll have a ready to go motor to kind of combine with what's in the car right now. And that's it. So real quick rundown. I even got a free seatbelt here so I can lift this with a forklift. That was kind of them. And yeah, so next part of the video could be in a couple weeks, I don't even know, but I'm probably going to want to take these covers off and potentially do just a timing belt job, new belt, new water pump, pulleys, just so this is good to go. Because once it's in the car, I can then start it, do a compression test, document those numbers, and then present to a buyer, you know, this good running motor. that I can pull out again after I part out the car or whatever happens to it. So let me know your thoughts. You know, obviously these VVTi, I don't even know if these will work. They're kind of rusted up, but we'll see. But yeah, hopefully that gives you a good idea of kind of what to look for when you're buying a motor, how to quickly check it, verify you're not getting scammed or throwing money away, because that's literally exactly what I did from when I picked it up to right now. And then always develop a plan. Don't just kind of get it and not know what you're doing with it and let it sit. Just have some kind of rough draft or plan on what you're going to do with the thing. Because car parts are nice, but they're not nice when you still have them 20 years from now and you forgot what you're doing with it or you lost half the parts. So, thanks for watching. That's it for now. Till next time.